Hello, this is Sal. In today's video, we will be talking about dynamic NAT and static NAT on a firewall ASA 5505. In this topology diagram, we can see VLAN 1 inside here with the on the network of 172.16.1/24, and between the ASA and router, the ISP here. I'll change this really quick. ISP. We have in the network of 200.1.1 slash 28, and we have the network here of 8.8.8.0 and a network here of 10.1.1.0/24. I will be configuring Dynamic NAT for the VLAN 1 inside here, and a static NAT so the PC on the internet can reach the web server here on the DMZ zone in VLAN 3. First, I did not configure the interfaces for the devices. Even the ASA device is still on the default configuration. I'll show you how to delete that and then do a new configuration for the ASA device. And everything in this video, you will find it in the document. If you download the document, in the description of this video, the walkthrough, it will walk you step by step everything I'm going to be doing in this video. So for the ISP here, the ISP router, enable configure terminal. I'll be configuring the interface on gig 00, IP address of 8.8.8.1/24 subnet mask, and open the port with no shutdown or no shut. And the interface facing the ASA firewall on gigabit 01, IP address of 200.1.1.1/28 subnet mask of 255.255.255.240, and open the port with either no shut or no shutdown. So now we have the configuration on the ISP router done. Now we'll on the ASA device, enable no password configure, just simply hit enter. Now in the configuration, global configuration mode, you can show run here, and here as you can see we have the DHCP pool of addresses with the 192.168.1.0 network. So we simply will type here from the configuration mode and then highlight all of this line and copy it, and after typing no here, just simply hit paste and then hit enter. And now also we have the VLAN 1 configured with an IP address, but this is not what we want the IP address for VLAN 1 to be, 192.168.1.0. We want it to be configured with 172.16.1.0/24 subnet or network. Here enter VLAN 1, simply type no IP address. That's it. Now let me run the command show run again. As you can see here, for VLAN 1, no IP address at all. Now after I did this, I will start working on the VLANs, starting with VLAN 1. Enter VLAN 1 with IP address of 172.16.1.1 and /24 subnet mask, and name F or name interface. IF stands for interface name F inside, and the security level for the VLAN 1, the inside VLAN, is 100. Exit from here. Now for the interface for VLAN 1 is on E01, so Ethernet 0/1, switch port, access VLAN 1. This is VLAN 1 for inside. Now let's do VLAN 2. Enter VLAN 2. IP address for VLAN 2 here for the outside this interface on the ASA of 200.1.1.2 and /28 subnet mask of 255.255.255.250. The name of the interface outside security level for the outside VLAN 2 is 0. Now go to the interface. The interface here for the outside on the ASA device is Ethernet 00 E0/0 switch port access VLAN 2. Exit from here. Now the DMZ or VLAN 3. Now enter VLAN 3. So first we need to type this command, which is really important. Now if we want to name the interface as DMZ, watch now the error we will receive that this license does not allow configuration more than 2 interfaces with name if and without a no forward command on this interface or on one interfaces with name if already configured. So we'll type no forward interface, the interface of VLAN, which VLAN? VLAN 1. Now we can name the interface of name if simply DMZ. Now the IP address of this interface of 10.1.1.1 with /24 subnet mask, and the security level for this interface we'll configure it as 50. Exit from here. Now go to the interface of Ethernet 02 switch port access VLAN 3. Now we configure the VLANs on the ASA firewall device of 5505. Now I will let me run some show commands here. You can run the show command from the global configuration mode, unlike on a router or a switch, but I will just run it from here. Show switch VLAN to see what we configured so far. For the inside VLAN on VLAN 1, inside it's up, the status is up, and these are the ports within VLAN 1, and for outside it's here on Ethernet 00, and for VLAN 3 the DMZ on 02. And another show command, show IP address, and here showing us the IP addresses we configured for the VLANs inside, outside, and the DMZ. And another show command, show interface IP brief. Unlike with a router or a switch, you type it as show IP interface brief, but here the brief here for VLAN 1 with this IP address, it is up, and VLAN 2 and VLAN 3. Now I'll configure a pool of DHCP addresses on the ASA device here for the inside VLAN. So on the ASA, from the global configuration mode, configure terminal DHCPD address, and it's 172 that's 16.1.5. I'll exclude some IP addresses to 172.16.1.10, and this is for the inside. Now DHCP DNS, which is 8.8.8.8, and we want this to be configured DHCPD. Enable it for what? For inside or for VLAN 1. So now we are done with the configuration for the DHCPD. Going on PCA, simply when you click on the device, just click on IP configuration here, and it is by default the button on static is on here, but we wanted to configure it from the DHCP, and it got this IP address. The same with PCB, and here the same with PCC. So now let's see if PCA can ping its own gateway. Ping the gateway on 172.16.1.1, and we received a reply. So now after we configured the VLANs and the DHCP, now if I try to ping the server on 8.8.8.8 on the internet, it will tell us that it's unreachable. So we received a reply back from the gateway on the ASA device, but we need to configure a default route on the ASA for the inside VLAN to the outside, and usually we will type the command as IP route, but this is on a router. But here on the ASA device or on a firewall device, we type route. Where do we want to route for the outside? And type it like this with the default route. And this is the subnet mask. And the default gateway or the next hop for the ASA device is this interface on 200.1.1.1. So type 200.1.1.1. Now let's try again to ping from PCA to the server. Give it a few seconds. And it is not. What we need now to NAT, because we cannot ping from a private IP address to the internet. So what we need now to configure for this network here, or for VLAN 1 inside VLAN, I'll configure the Dynamic Nat. So first we'll start with the object for the network, and we have only one option, object network, and I'll name it simply internet, or you can name it whatever you want. Subnet, we want the subnet of 172.16.1.0 with /24 subnet mask. And here to NAT. NAT what? Inside VLAN 1 to outside. We want the devices or the host in the inside to NAT the IP addresses for outside. And how do we want to do this? We have two options, either dynamically or statically. So we choose dynamic and on the interface. Now after we configure the object here or the NAT, we need to work on the access list. Exit from here, from the global configuration, configure terminal, access list, and I will name it internet. Again, it doesn't matter what name you choose for it. I want to permit what? The TCP from where? From the network to go anywhere, and the TCP on the port of 80, either you type 80 or www. I'll choose just to type the port number. And another access list, I will also name it internet, and to permit the ICMP, the ping from any to any. Now we need to configure the group. Access group, the same, I'll choose the same name, internet, from inside on the interface to go through the interface to outside. Now we configured the static NAT. So let's try now to ping the server, and we received a reply. So we are able from the inside VLAN to ping outside. We tried on PCA. I'll try it again on PCB. Ping the server, and we received a reply. Let's try from PCC to ping PC1, and the IP address of 8.8.8.10 from PCC. And this is a a dynamic NAT. Ping 8.8.8.10. And we received a reply. Now from the inside VLAN 1, it's protected behind a firewall. It can go out to the internet, but can this PC1, can it ping either this interface or any of the PCs? For PCA, it has the IP address of 172.16.1.5. Let's try to ping it from PC1 on the internet. From here, go desktop, click on command prompt, ping 172.16.1.5, and we received a reply, but from its gateway saying that the default destination is unreachable. Now, after we configure the dynamic NAT here, we want to configure a static NAT for the DMZ zone. So first, we need to configure an object for the network. Configure terminal object, and one option here to choose, which is network, specifies a host, subnet, or range IP addresses, and I will call it server. Now we don't want to configure a subnet, we want to configure just the host of this web server, and the IP address of this web server is 10.1.1.5. And as you can see here, this is the IP address. If we go on the desktop, check here, it's 10.1.1.5. Go back here, and now what do we want to NAT? We want to NAT from the DMZ to outside. How we want to do this? Static. And we want now, what is the IP address we want to map this private IP address to? And I chose simply this IP address, 200.1.1.4, 200.1.1.4. So we are done with configuring the static NAT for the DMZ zone. So going back on the ASA device, here now we want to configure the access list. So access list, I'll give it the name of DMZ out. We want to permit, what do we want to permit first? TCP from any host to any, and equal 80. And also let's assume that there are more than one device also here, and more than one host also in the internet. Access list, also same name, DMZ out, permit ICMP, any. Now the access group, DMZ out, from in, interface, out, exit. So now let's see if the PC on the internet can access the web server. Ping, we will be pinging the public IP address of 200.1.1.4. And we received a reply. And also let's try from the server. Why not? Try to ping desktop, go here, ping the public IP address for the web server 200.1.1.4, and we receive the reply. Also from the PC, if it can go out to the internet, sorry, from the inside computers from PCA, if it still can reach the internet, we'll ping the server, and we are able to ping the server. So packet tracer is helpful. We can use it to learn, but we are limited with how much features we can use with the packet tracer. So in this video we covered, I configured the IP address for the interfaces on the ISP router, deleted what was configured by default on the ASA, and then configured the VLAN 1 for inside with this IP address here for the DMZ zone, for the outside VLAN 2, and we configured the DHCP and the Dynamic Nat for this network, and a static NAT for devices on the internet to be able to reach the web server or the DMZ. I hope you learned something from this video. Please, if you like it, subscribe to my channel and share the video and give me the thumb up. And if you have any comments, any feedback, just please write me and I will reply as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Have a nice day.